Namaskar to all the participants and all my esteemed colleagues, because all of you are teacher in a college or an university. During the last 2 years, lots of deliberation have been taken place. Lot of debate and discussion are on the NAP 2019. I'm not going in detail. All of you might have read it, might have done critical appreciation of it. This is a public document. But now, since it has been approved, accepted by the government of India, so now it is a government paper, and across the country, it is being implemented and it will be implemented. Today, I am going to share my view on two aspects that is a very important aspect of the NEP 2019. One is language and one is multidisciplinary approach of NEP. I will speak around 45 minutes or 1 hour. Multi-language and multidisciplinary education. My dear colleagues, when we talk about the language, we talk about culture, we talk about the food habit, we talk about the dress, we talk about the music, we talk about the indigenous knowledge, we talk about our indigenous knowledge system about medicine, about crafts and handicrafts. Language comprises all the aspects which just now I shared to you. India is a jungle of language where after every 50 to 100 kilometer, culture, food habit, even water is changed. There is a very popular phrase in Hindi, कोस कोस पे पानी बदले चार कोस पे वाणी. If any one of you are a student of linguistics, you might be knowing that language have so many influence on our day-to-day life. In the language, the mother tongue plays a very, very important role in shaping our future, in shaping our mentality, in shaping our mental growth, and of course, in shaping our thinking process. India languages are richest among the world. Why I am telling you? Our language is more scientific language. How we consider this and that language is more scientific or not scientific, it depends on pronunciation. जहां से वो शब्द निकल रहा है, it gives us a very good example that this language is scientific and this language is not scientific. If you read alphabet of English, A, B, C, D, E. At pronouncing different sound, your tongue is moving around your mouth from left to right, right to left, up to down, down to up. But once you pronounce the Devanagari alphabet, each alphabet has a particular place where the sound is coming. Ka, kha, ga, gha. This is example. Cha, cha, ja, jha. Yani 4-5 sounds are coming from the same place. That's why we can claim that our languages are the richest, our languages are the most scientific and most beautiful. For purpose of cultural enrichment as well as national integration, all young Indians should be aware of the rich and the vast language what we have in our country. As you know, in our country, there are 3 groups of languages which presently we are speaking. One group is called the Indo-Aryan group of languages, Assamese, Bengali, Punjabi, Marathi, Gujarati, Rajasthani, Bhojpuri, etc. These languages belong to a family. That family is called Indo-Aryan group of languages. Then we have another group of languages that is here missing. That is the Dravidian group of languages. Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. These are the Dravidian group of languages. Another group of language, Indo-Tibetan group of languages that are spoken in the Northeast India. So at presently, my esteemed colleague, keep in mind when we are talking about the NEP language, on language, there are 3 groups of languages presently we are speaking in our country: Indo-Aryan, Dravidian, and Indo-Tibetan group of languages. Why we are concentrating on language? What is the reason? The reason is that till now, our foundation is not strong. We are thinking in our mother tongue, but we are forced to write in English. Our thinking process is in, for example, I am speaking in English, but in my mind there is a software of my mother tongue. I'm thinking in my mother tongue, but this mother tongue, the software of mother tongue, translating my thinking, my words into English. There is no any person on the earth who can dream in other than his or her mother tongue. आप में से कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं होगा जिसने रात में सपना या ख्वाब जो है वो इंग्लिश में या फ्रेंच में या जर्मन में देखा हो. For the last 30-35 years, I have been a student of Persian. But in my life, मैंने कभी भी रात में सोते समय सपना जो है फारसी में नहीं देखा. I always dream in my mother tongue. अभी हमने स्टूडेंट को जो इंग्लिश की जो मोनोपोली है उससे इस तरह से दाब के रखा हुआ है कि हमारे जो ज्ञान है, हमारी जो ज्ञान परंपरा है और जो हमारे डिफरेंट रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस के जो स्कॉलर्स हैं, जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, दे आर नॉट कमिंग अप. We are thinking in my mother tongue and speaking in English. That's why there is no any originality in our work. That's why we have made in this policy that let us think in our mother tongue and let us write in our mother tongue. That's why a number of exams now, if you are our students are appearing the number of comparative examinations. Now they are allowed to write in her mother tongue. Be UPSC or any state service commission or NEET or engineering. Now, just 1 month back, now the IITs, they have started teaching in the regional languages and in the mother tongue. Mahatma Gandhi has also emphasized that foreign medium has caused brain fag and it gives the due strain upon nerve of our children, made them crammer and the imitator. Because when you are compelled some student to write in English, though he never thinks in English, then originality will not come out. That was the main focus of Mahatma Gandhi when he started the Bunyadi Talim. And that time he emphasizes that let the India should start education in the mother tongue. What UNESCO has said, every effort should be made to provide education in the mother tongue. Those countries, you see this data, those countries who have given largest number of Nobel Prize winner impart school education until higher education in their mother tongue. You take the example of the different countries जहां से नोबेल प्राइज विनर सबसे अधिक आए हैं. In that country, since KG up to PG, up to PhD, education is imparted in the mother tongue. हमारे बच्चों को ओरिजिनलिटी नहीं आई, हमारे बच्चे अभी भी कट एंड पेस्ट में लगे हुए हैं, हमारे बच्चे ग्रेट साइंटिस्ट नहीं हो रहे, हमारे बच्चे जो है जो रूरल एरिया के बैकग्राउंड है, दे आर डिप्राइव्ड, दे आर नॉट कंप्लीटिंग. व्हाई? Because they are coming from the regional schools, they are coming from the regional colleges. In the university now they are asked to write in English. It कैसे possible होगा? How is it possible? That's why in the policy we have said that let us start our education in our mother tongue. Nowhere in the world education is given other than the mother tongue. Here, let me tell you, as a policy maker, as a teacher, as a citizen of this country, we are not against of any language. English should be taught. English is a language of science. English is a globally recognized language, but not on the sake of our own language. Only इंग्लिश में बोलने वाले अच्छे स्कॉलर नहीं होते, इंग्लिश में लिखने से अच्छे राइटर नहीं होते, इंग्लिश में सोचने वाले ही अच्छे विद्वान नहीं होते. हमारे कन्नड़ में, तेलुगु में, तमिल में, असमिया में, बंगला में, हिंदी में, उर्दू में, ये सब जबानों में लिखने वाले भी बड़े बड़े स्कॉलर्स हुए हैं, बड़े बड़े जो है वो विद्वान हुए हैं, बड़े बड़े साइंटिस्ट हुए हैं और बड़े बड़े जो है रिसर्चर भी हुए हैं. So this is the what we want from this policy. Beside that, let our students should pride in his mother tongue. हमने आज तक किसी you are a teacher, you never ask in your class what is your father tongue. We always said what is your mother tongue. Let us develop love for the mother tongue and love for the mother India. Once you start love with the mother tongue, it automatically, when at my starting, I said that only language is not important. Language with culture, Sanskriti, Sabhyata, Khan, Pan, Rahan, San, music, a musical instrument, indigenous knowledge, all are part of the language. Let the student learn the entire history of its language. Let the student be associated with his honor and culture of the language he belongs to. अभी जो है आज की दुनिया में दो पर्सन इज ए वेरी गुड स्कॉलर, ही वेरी गुड ओरेटर, लेकिन वो जब वो किसी फंक्शन में किसी प्रोग्राम में वो जा रहा है तो वो अंग्रेजी नहीं बोल सकता हो. She cannot speak in English. He cannot speak in English. Oh, that's why she feels humiliated. अरे मैं अंग्रेजी नहीं बोल सकता हूँ. तो ये माहौल को, इस इन्वायरमेंट को हम खत्म करना चाह रहे हैं कि आप जो है लेट द स्टूडेंट बी फ्री, लेट द स्कॉलर बी फ्री टू चूज हिज और हर मदर टंग. In the very purpose of the teaching, learning cannot be achieved when education is given in the foreign language or the language that is not spoken by a learner at home. I'm talking about for higher education. If you go to the school and primary and secondary level, one of the most important reason why the students are dropping from the school is the language problem. जो टीचर जिस भाषा में बोलता है स्टूडेंट को समझ नहीं आता, और स्टूडेंट जो भाषा का यूज कर रहा है वो टीचर को समझ में नहीं आता. देयर इज ए क्लियर कट लैंग्वेज गैप between a teacher and a student. That is why in policy it is clearly mentioned that henceforth you appoint a teacher, you appoint an instructor in a school from the same place where he belongs to, so that he knows the language, he knows the culture, he knows the geographical condition of that area, he knows the historical things of that area, so that he can be well connected with the student, and there should be a less number of dropping out from the schools. Education in mother tongue helps the learner nourish her cognitive ability and prepare for critical thinking. Now the entire policy, now we are concentrating on critical thinking. What we have said, education must be art integration. If you go through our education system in India, ancient or medieval India, we are giving more and more emphasis on Gyan rather than Shiksha. And there is a big gap between a Gyan and Shiksha. As there is a big gap between Dharma and religion. What we want? We want Gyan. We want Kaushal. We want that when a child passed out from school, she or he should have at least one Gyan, one Kaushal in her hand. अभी तो हमारे पास ज्ञान नहीं है, जो अभी हमारे पास शिक्षा है. We are deprived of ज्ञान. Root learning जो है वो सबसे जो the problem the creating is root learning is creating lots of problem for us. So what we want, the first thing are mental, physical and spiritual growth of a child. That is the main thrust area of this policy. Let should be a mental development. For mental development of child, unless or until teachers are not respected, they are not paid handsome salary, they are not regularized, they are not, if they are not happy, if the family of the teachers is not happy, how do you expect that the student will be happy? It is not possible at all. That's why very clearly and very empathetically we have said in the national education policy that every teacher and his or her family should feel happy. If a teacher goes to a office, the officer जो है टीचर के रेस्पेक्ट में खड़ा हो जाना चाहिए उसको. अभी हमारे कल जो है we have celebrated our teachers day. He said the Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru. कहने से नहीं होगा. We have to implement it. एक टीचर अगर किसी ऑफिस में जाता है तो अगर वो टीचर के रेस्पेक्ट में ऑफिसर को खड़ा हो जाना चाहिए. एक टीचर को टाइमली पेमेंट होना चाहिए. एक टीचर को इस कंट्री में सबसे ज्यादा सैलरी मिलनी चाहिए. एक टीचर को ये एडवोकेजिम चल रहा है और पार्ट टाइम और एडवोकेजिम ये खत्म होना चाहिए. अगर टीचर is not satisfied with the job, if a teacher is fighting with his family, if a teacher is upset, if a teacher is disturbed, if a teacher is mentally disturbed, then how do you expect that the same teacher will come in the class and give a good lecture? Is possible ही नहीं. गुड लेक्चर के लिए, गुड थिंकिंग के लिए जो टीचर क्लास में आ रहा है उसको मेंटली, फिजिकली, फाइनेंशियली साउंड होना पड़ेगा. एंड दिस इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट टू प्रोवाइड ऑल काइंड ऑफ मीन्स सो दैट अ टीचर and his family feel secured and happy. Then only we talk about the mental and physical and spiritual development of a child. For mental development, we have proposed that henceforth every activity done by a student is to be considered as a main course of main syllabus. Earlier we have extracurricular activities like painting, drawing, dance, NCC, NSS, agriculture. Earlier they were considered as extracurricular activities. But in the NEP, now any activities done by a student is part of her main course. That's why from coming academic session, NCC, which earlier was extracurricular activities, will become the part of our syllabus. NCC can be offered as an optional subject at graduate level. So for mental and physical development of the student, we have recommended that college level literary club, college level drama club, college level sports club, college level, so many extracurricular clubs should be created for mental health and mental growth of a children. And that education must be imparted in the mother tongue of the student. Now you will ask the question, sir, how can we are going to implement the mother tongue at our college and university level? At the school level, it is possible. But how is possible at the college and university level? Till now, we don't have a very a good text and undergraduate level. किसी भी लैंग्वेज में, रीजनल लैंग्वेज में हमारे यहाँ अंडर ग्रेजुएट के टेक्स्ट बुक्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल. Become BSc or BA in physics, BSc in physics, chemistry, history, political science, you name any subject, but all textbooks are written in English. They are not written in the local languages. तमिल में अवेलेबल नहीं है, तेलुगु में नहीं है, हिंदी में नहीं है, उड़िया में नहीं है, असमीज में नहीं है. If the text books are not provided to the student, how do we expect that our mother tongue policy will be implemented at its college level? That's why we have recommended international level of Institute of Translation and Interpretation. It is a fact that translation cannot be equivalent to the original work. As far as possible, we should write textbook in our own language. But if it is not possible, then we have said in policy that जो अच्छी पुस्तकें हैं, अच्छी किताबें हैं, उनको हम रीजनल लैंग्वेज में जब तक कि हम उसको अनुवाद न करेंगे, उसको ट्रांसलेट न करेंगे, तब तक के ये जो मदर टंग की जो पॉलिसी है, ये कभी भी स्कूल लेवल पे, कॉलेज लेवल पे और यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल पर उसको हम इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं कर सकते. That's why it clearly written that all the universities should develop one school, one department of almost all recognized Indian languages. What are these? Already I discussed with you. What is the reason of the dropping out from the school from the student? Textbook, including the science, will be made available in the home language, mother tongue. Now, it is responsibility of the teachers, all the esteemed colleagues sitting in front of me. They belong to a different language group. Some may from Tamil Nadu, someone from Andhra, someone from Northeast, someone from UP, someone from Bihar. In this policy, the two very important decision or recommendation are given. Number one recommendation is, now a student is given freedom to choose the subject, to choose the teacher, and it is given freedom जब चाहा जब पढ़े और जब चाहा जब छोड़ दिया, जिसको हम मल्टी लेवल एंट्री एंड एग्जिट फैसिलिटी जानते हैं. स्टूडेंट को पढ़ने की आजादी, सब्जेक्ट चुनने की आजादी, यूनिवर्सिटी चुनने की आजादी, टीचर्स को चुनने की आजादी, और जब चाहा जब पढ़ाई किया और जब चाहा जब पढ़ाई छोड़ दिया, इसकी आजादी. उसी के साथ साथ टीचर्स आर आल्सो गिवन फ्रीडम टू डिजाइन, to redesign, to structure, to restructure courses. आप अपने हिसाब से कोर्स बना सकते हैं. And I have taken this system from JNU. In JNU, every teacher is in charge of a course, and course is designed by him. वो टीचर कोर्स डिजाइन करता है, वही टीचर कोर्स को पढ़ाता है, वही टीचर कोर्स का एग्जाम लेता है, वही टीचर उसको एवेलुएट करता है, वही टीचर उसको क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग सिखलाता है, वही टीचर जो है उसको डिजाइनिंग करता है, वही टीचर आफ्टर 1 year और 2 year अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिक्वायरमेंट उसको जो है वो मॉडिफाई करता है. When one policy, one thing is applicable in one university, why not it may be applicable to the other university? If you are from political science background or chemistry background or psychology background or sociology background, my dear friend, kindly prepare 3 credit, 2 credit or 4 credit optional courses and make it available across the country. and as far as possible, try to make it in the regional language. Then teacher will be encouraged to use a bilingual approach, including bilingual teaching learning material with those students whose home language may be different from the medium of instruction. There is other problem. In our country, there are number of family where mother language is different from the father language, and father language is different from the mother language, but both father and mother speak one language at home, and that language is considered the mother tongue of their children. I take example of the UP. If a student, his mother tongue, for example, is Awadhi, but he is being taught in Hindi, बहुत सारी चीजें उसको हो सकती है समझ में ना आए. That's why we talking about the bilingual teachers, both the languages. There will be a greater flexibility in the three language formula. You know, the three language formula is recognized by our constitution, and presently we as a citizen of this country has adopted a three language formula, and no language will be imposed on any state. The three language learned by children will be the choice of the state, region, and of course the student themselves, so long as at least two of the three languages are native to India. This policy is very clear. We have adopted three language formula accepted by our constitution. We cannot impose on any language on anyone, and it is not impossible in India to impose a language on anyone. हर आदमी को अपनी जबान प्यारी होती है, हर आदमी अपनी जबान से मोहब्बत करता है, हर आदमी अपनी जबान, अपनी संस्कृति, अपनी तहजीब से मोहब्बत करता है. So we cannot impose one language to you, but since we have adopted three language formula, so कम से कम two languages जो native languages हो वो स्टूडेंट को पढ़ना चाहिए. Now I'll give you the another example. The northern Indian student at the school level should learn at least one language belonging to Dravidian or Indo-Burmese group of languages. Likewise, a student belonging to a Dravidian group of languages, they also should learn one language from Indo-Aryan group of languages or Indo-Burmese or Indo-Tibetan group of languages. इस तरह से हम दूसरे के कल्चर को, हम दूसरे के हिस्ट्री को, हम दूसरे की थिंकिंग को, हम दूसरे को अच्छी तरह से समझ पाएंगे. We are fighting on the language. Since you do not know Jal, you do not know Ab, you do not know Neer, so you are fighting that no, it is water. He said no, it is a Pani. He said no, it is Jal. He said no, it is Neer. Said no, it is Ab. So all the fighting is because we are ignorant to each other. A strong department and program of Indian language, as I told you. Now each and every university at least should have one school or one college or one school or one department of Indian languages. 22 recognized Indian languages. In JNU now we are going to start School of Indian Language, Literature and Culture Studies, where 22 recognized languages will be taught at PG level and at the research level. and this recommendation is across the country. Let each and every college and university should have a department of Indian languages, at least 22 Indian languages. We have recommended that more higher education institute should adopt mother tongue at higher education level. That program should be bilingually so that GER can be increased. When we talk about the language, at the same time, we talk about, as I told you, the Gyan and the Kaushal. If you see the data of the vocational studies across the globe, the lowest in India. Only 5% of Indian students have vocational knowledge of vocational studies. Only 5% of our students have Kaushal in their hand. When we talk about the Kaushal, when we talk about the Gyan, when we talk about the language, we talk about in a very holistic manner. When we talk about the Gyan, Kaushal, it may be a fashion designing, it may be a telephone repairing, it may be a mobile repairing, it may be a carpentry, it may be a black goldsmith, maybe a blacksmith, maybe a tailoring, maybe a music. At least once in a week, every student should visit surrounding area of her school, a place where the vocational trainings can be given. You forget about the vocational training, our student, and we do not know much about our indigenous knowledge system. आज भी हमारे आप गांव में जाएं, रूरल एरिया में जाएं, लोग बगैर घड़ी देखे एग्जैक्ट टाइम बता देते हैं, बगैर वेदर रिपोर्ट देखे वो वेदर का फोरकास्ट कर देते हैं, बगैर साइंस पढ़े, बगैर टेक्नोलॉजी पढ़े वो एग्रीकल्चर का और वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग सिस्टम जो है वो इस तरह से बता देंगे. ओनली प्रॉब्लम इज दैट कि वो बेचारा अंग्रेजी नहीं जानता, वो बेचारा जो है फॉर्मल एजुकेशन उसको पास नहीं है, दैट्स व्हाई वो जो है वो आगे नहीं बढ़ सका. You do not have a knowledge of our medicinal plant. If you go to the villages, आज भी अगर गांव में जाए, particularly in the north east, वहां तो बहुत कम लोग मेडिसिन लेते हैं. They have medicinal plant in their houses. खांसी में ये खाना है, वोमिटिंग होने पे ये खाना है, दर्द में ये खाना है, दांत में दर्द हो तो ये खाना है, पेट में दर्द हो तो ये खाना है. And these has been transferred from our forefather to us. Now it is our responsibility कि हम उसको कमिंग जनरेशन के लिए उसको हम पास ऑन करें. नहीं तो हमारी जो विधा है, हमारी जो टेक्निक है, हमारी जो साइंटिफिक जो हमारा अप्रोच है वो तो खत्म हो जाएगा. टिल नाउ अभी तक हम जो है ना बात कर रहे थे शिक्षा नीति की. आपने ये ध्यान नहीं दिया कि ये फर्स्ट नीति है जो बात करती है राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी. जब हम नेशन की बात करते हैं तो नेशन में संस्कृति भी आ गई, नेशन में सभ्यता भी आ गया, नेशन में हमारा इतिहास भी आ गया, नेशन में हमारा साइंटिफिक टेम्पर भी आ गया, नेशन में हमारा खान पान भी आ गया, नेशन में हमारी मान्यताएं भी आ गई. ये एवरीथिंग इंक्लूड करके ही तो नेशन बना. अभी तक जो शिक्षा नीति थी उसकी बुनियाद जो है हमारे नेशन पे नहीं थी. वो हमारे रूट की बात नहीं करता, वो हमारी संस्कृति की बात नहीं करता था, वो हमारी कल्चर की बात नहीं कर रहा था। हम इसलिए हमारी नींव मजबूत ना हो। हम इसमें चाहते हैं कि राष्ट्र की निर्माण करें, हमारे बच्चे जो बाहर निकले वो अच्छे इंसान हो, राष्ट्र निर्माता हो, उनको पता चले कि ये गलत है और ये सही है, उनको पता चले कि ये पाप है ये पुण्य है, उनको पता चले कि शिक्षक क्या है, उनको पता चले कि परिवार क्या है, उनको पता चले कि छोटा कौन है, उनको पता चले कि बड़ा कौन है, उनको पता चले कि बस में कोई बड़ा आने से कैसे सीट देना। ये नैतिकता की जो बात अगर होगी तो उसकी जबान में होगी, तब तो बच्चा समझेगा। आप भी टीचर हैं, आप बच्चों को पूछते हैं क्या तुमको संस्कार नहीं मिला माँ बाप से? ये संस्कार क्या है? संस्कार किसी किताब में आप पढ़ सकते हैं? नो, यू कैन नॉट रीड। संस्कार आपको फैमिली से आती है, संस्कार आपको जो है अपने रहन सहन से आएगा। आप हमारे माता पिता ने जैसा व्यवहार किया वैसा मैंने हमने सीखा। तो ये भाषा में ये सब चीज जो है ये सम्मिलित है, और हम चाहते हैं इस पॉलिसी में कि एक बच्चा को स्कूल लेवल पे भाषा के द्वारा ये सब जो हमारी संस्कृति और सभ्यता की जो चीज है, आचार की, विचार की, नैतिकता की, संस्कृति की, संस्कार की, इंडिजीनियस नॉलेज की, इस सब के सब चीजें एक बच्चे को स्कूल से पास आउट होने के टाइम में ही सब दे दिया जाए, ताकि वो बच्चा कॉलेज में आने के बाद वो 3 बटन खोलकर न चले, ताकि वो बच्चा आपके क्लास में आपके साथ मिसबिहेव ना करे, ताकि वो बच्चा आपके साथ क्वेश्चन आंसर करने में उसको जो है कठिनाई ना हो, उसको जो है वो मर्यादा में रहे। क्योंकि आप जानते हैं कि जिसके जिसके दिल में वो टीचर के प्रति श्रद्धा नहीं, उसको तो ज्ञान हो ही नहीं सकता। ज्ञान के लिए सबसे पहला कंडीशन है श्रद्धा, रेस्पेक्ट फॉर टीचर। तो ये एवरीथिंग comes under the umbrella of language. लैंग्वेज सिर्फ क ख ग घ ABCD का नाम नहीं, लैंग्वेज जो है पूरी, जैसे मैंने अभी मोर देन 35 मिनट जो हो गया आपको लैंग्वेज को बताया, तो वह इन 2 lines which I would like to brief to you, that language is umbrella, and under the language all kind of ज्ञान, कौशल, संस्कृति, indigenous knowledge, indigenous knowledge system, everything comes under one umbrella of language. Now, let us go to the multidisciplinary approach. Just give me 1 minute. When we talk about the multidisciplinary, as you know, India has a long tradition of holistic and multidisciplinary learning. तक्षशिला में या नालंदा में सिर्फ एक सब्जेक्ट की पढ़ाई नहीं होती थी, वहां का जो छात्र था वो मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच हमारे यहां शुरू से है। You might have read or might have heard the name of बाणभट्ट। इन्होंने 64 कला और आर्ट का अपनी किताब में, कादम्बरी में उन्होंने मेंशन किया। He has mentioned 64 कला और आर्ट्स in the very important book कादम्बरी। यानी since time immemorial we are following multidisciplinary approach to education. In between, what we have done, we have created a big boundary between the subject. ये साइंस का है तो आर्ट्स में नहीं जा सकता, बीकॉम का स्टूडेंट बीएससी में नहीं जा सकता, बीएससी का स्टूडेंट बीकॉम में नहीं जा सकता, बीकॉम का स्टूडेंट जो है बीटेक में नहीं जा सकता। ये बड़े बड़े जो हमने सब्जेक्ट के जो बाउंड्री क्रिएट किए हुए हैं, ये बाउंड्री इज नॉट इन आवर कल्चर। हमने इस पॉलिसी में उस बाउंड्री को खत्म किया। नाउ ए स्टूडेंट आर अलाउड, his main subject for example is the physics. She is doing BSc in physics, Now she is allowed to have painting. She is allowed to have Sanskrit. She is allowed to have commerce. She is allowed to have a biotech. She is allowed to have life sciences, one of the subject as an optional paper. यही तो मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी है. यानी एक छात्र को एक ही सब्जेक्ट में न रखकर they should be given optional for multidisciplinary subject. In your college, if there are 5, 10 or 20, 25 departments, in your university, if there are 30, 35 departments, let us have multidisciplinary, or let us have linkage on all the departments. If one student is doing BCom, she has every right to choose a number of subjects like a painting, drawing, dance, mathematics, physics, chemistry, languages, foreign languages, management, technology. Let us open. हम स्टूडेंट के लिए ये हम खोल दें. Let the student select. Let the student select the subject which is nearer to her, or in which they want to excel, with multiple entry and exit facility. Yani after 1 year certificate, after 2 year diploma, after 3 year advanced diploma, after 4 year graduate. This system is for those students who want to come to the higher education. For higher education, 4 year BA and 1 year MA. But those students who want to quit in between, so after 3 years, he or she can quit, and he will be awarded a graduate degree. But for higher education, you have to complete 4 year BA degree and 1 year MA, and after MA, you can go to the PhD. And one college and one university, as a university, as a college, you have to provide a number of optional subject to each of the student. Now it is our responsibility, it is our duty to prepare optional courses. If you have a management center department, let the management professor come out and prepare a course, 2 credit course or 4 credit course for a student belonging to the language, a student belonging to the commerce, a student belonging to the arts stream, a student belonging to the science stream. Let the foreign language or let the language student, teacher come forward to prepare a 2 credit or 4 credit course for the student who are doing management, for the student who are doing BTech, for the student who are doing BSc in sciences. इससे क्या होगा? इससे तो सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये होगा कि बच्चे को डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट पढ़ने का मौका मिलेगा, नंबर 1. And if you are offering a foreign language optional to the management student, after passing from your university and college, he or she easily can get a job in a multinational company. She can go to the Japan if he knows the Japanese. She can go to the Gulf country if she knows the Arabic. She can go to the Russia if she knows the Russian. Korea or Japan, if 1 semester or 2 semester courses is designed in foreign language. This is the philosophy behind the multidisciplinary approach. Now, let us join hand to hand and prepare courses for the student who do not belong to your stream, with knowledge and education combined together. Singing, painting, chemistry, mathematics, vocational fields such as carpentry, cloth making, professional field such as medicine, engineering, as well as soft skills such as communication, discussion, debate should be considered art. Ye all come together called the liberal art. That's why in the NAP we have suggested BA in liberal art. This knowledge of many art now is often called as liberal art. Liberal art now has been brought back to Indian education because it is demand of the 21st century. आज 21st century में एक सब्जेक्ट के नॉलेज से आपको कुछ नहीं हो सकता. Either you are writing UPSC or you are writing the staff selection, you are writing the railway management, you are writing the banking, you write any exam. If you are expert in only one subject, it will not work out. आपको हर सब्जेक्ट की जानकारी जो है वो आपको लेनी पड़ेगी. The higher education institute will be transferred into the large multidisciplinary university college, and each of which will aim to have 3,000 or more students. Now the BCom college or BSc science college or commerce college, this system is going to be wind up. This system अब नहीं चलेगा. Each and every university or every college should be converted to a multidisciplinary subject. These are the some technical problem which are not going to detail. Now it is almost 1 hour. So with thanks to everyone